The center said at 2 a.m. that Maria's maximum sustained winds had risen to almost 115 miles per hour, and that the storm could get stronger still over the next day or so. It was expected to pass offshore of the Dominican Republic's northeastern coast early Thursday, before moving near the Turks and Caicos Islands and the southeastern Bahamas on Thursday night and Friday. Maria had weakened to Category 2 after taking quite a hit from the high mountains of Puerto Rico, where at least one death had been reported. Officials expected the strong winds and storm surge flooding in Puerto Rico to subside by early Thursday, and they cancelled its hurricane warning. Heavy rain, however, was expected to continue. In the meantime, the countries already battered by Maria were scrambling on Wednesday to recover. And weather officials said catastrophic flash flooding was still occurring on Puerto Rico as of 8 p.m. Wednesday. Electricity was knocked out across all of the island, a spokeswoman for the Puerto Rico State Agency for Emergency and Disaster Management said, and officials said it could take months to fully restore power. The authorities warn weary residents not to let down their guard, because flash flooding and mudslides could prove more deadly than the initial winds from the storm. The governor of Puerto Rico, Ricardo Rossello, announced a 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew effective Wednesday until Saturday. Thousands of people there were scrambling to hundreds of shelters, some of which Mr. Rossello acknowledged might not be storm-worthy. The roads, he said in a radio interview later on Wednesday, were practically undrivable. The damage is very extensive, he said Wednesday night in an interview on CNN. It is nothing short of a major disaster. The storm made landfall at Yabucoa in Puerto Rico's southeast shortly after 6 a.m. Wednesday, as a Category 4 storm with winds as strong as 155 miles per hour. It had crossed the United States Virgin Islands as a Category 5 storm, then weakened. Its winds were blowing about 110 miles per hour on Wednesday evening. Forecasters say Puerto Rico will see about 2 feet of rain by Friday. Storm surges are expected to raise water levels by as much as 6 feet in the Dominican Republic. Governor Rossello told CNN late Wednesday that officials knew of only one fatality in Puerto Rico, but noted that they still could not communicate with the southeastern part of the island, which was hit earliest and hardest by the storm. We still don't have a lot of information, he said. President Trump late Wednesday designated the U.S. Virgin Islands a disaster area to make federal funds available to people on St. Croix who were affected by the storm. Hartley Henry, an advisor to Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerritt of Dominica, told the Associated Press on Wednesday that there had been 7 confirmed deaths from Hurricane Maria on that island. 2 people were also killed on the French Caribbean island of Guadeloupe, officials said. Officials at Ross University Medical School on Dominica said they plan to evacuate students and others by boat to St. Lucia. This is just the beginning, Mr. Rossello said in an interview with El Nuevo Dia, the largest daily newspaper in Puerto Rico. We know there are severe damages along different rivers and reservoirs, and water has overflowed from riverbanks, causing flooding, he added. The island had not seen a Category 4 storm since 1932. Carlos Anselmi, a meteorologist with the National Weather Service in Puerto Rico, said there had been record-breaking amounts of rain, with as much as 35 inches expected in some places. There have been reports, multiple reports, of coastal flooding along the south, north and east of Puerto Rico, he said. We expect this to continue throughout Puerto Rico. Don't leave your house, that's the message, he added. Nobody in Puerto Rico should be on the street. Local radio stations were reporting widespread devastation in coastal areas, but Ricardo Castrodad, a U.S. Coast Guard spokesman in Puerto Rico, said officials had not yet been able to make assessments. I'm hunkered down weathering the storm in Guaynabo, he said on Wednesday, adding that the winds were still blowing, so we still can't get out,